What was that?
So we're live.
Recording.
So you want to know? Okay. So for the public session, I know some of you were here and some of you were not here. So based on our new policy, you will have 3 minutes. I'll time it. When it gets to 30 seconds left that you have, I'll raise my hand, letting you know you have 30 seconds. If you're not looking at me, I'll just say you have 30 seconds left. And then when your 3 minutes are up, I'll let you know that your 3 minutes are up and you'll stop talking. If you have a group of people where you're speaking about the same topic, you need to pick a person to represent for the group to talk about that topic. And then you will, the same rules, your 3 minutes, 30 seconds, 3 minutes is up. So that's how that's gonna go.
Can I have a question? If it's a collective, like if everybody's here to talk about bullying, like
No.
in general, that would mean one collective person out of all of us, right?
No, that,
Or not?
if it's, if you guys were here to complain about the buildings are too cold and you'd gotten together and came here to, rally the troops, that's one thing. If it's, you're here as a parent, you guys haven't been, forming a group or something,
Right, okay.
all right? Okay, thanks, Charles.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Yes, you have to stand up.
You gotta, and please, if you can, speak loudly and, because you gotta sort of aim at that owl thing right here. And make sure, give us your name.
All right, my name's Oliver Lake, and I wanted to just say that, like, it'd be really cool if you guys to consider your conduct, considering, like, we're not supposed to mention specific people, but, like, we appreciate your trying, and that's important. But you have to listen to people. They're, like, worried, upset, and they're scared for their children's safety. Like, there's been bodily harm done to people, and that's not okay. Like, in this environment, sensitivity and being, like, positive in this discussion is important, and so is hearing people out. No one should be singled out in any context, considering there has been some of that in the schools, from what I'm aware, considering there's been effects of this conversation happening, spilling over into school conduct. And like, limiting these conversations isn't the answer. We get that you're stressed out and that this is a difficult issue to address. But just suppressing people and telling us to stop talking about it isn't the way to go. Like, I've had close friends who have left the school, specifically this year, because of how bad the situation has gotten. I've spent nights in middle school as a small child having to tell my friends to not kill themselves, like night after night. It's inappropriate and it's gotten this bad. At this point, like, we've seen things we were too young to see. We've heard things from people, our peers, that we should not have heard. You're supposed to protect and educate us, and we appreciate you, but you need to listen to us and listen to our parents who are advocating to us, advocating for us, because people are hurting us, things are hurting us, and it's important. You need to respect people, their boundaries, and we're counting on you. So.
Thank you.
My name is Carolyn Fish. This is Alexa Fish. And we thank Chris and Larry for giving us the time that we were not afforded earlier. I wanted to speak, Perry, directly to you first. You made a comment last week, or not, the last meeting that we had, about other parents not being in attendance and how, if they cared. And now this time parents showed up and yet we still weren't allowed to speak. I made sure to get here in between the time it said, so that needs to be readdressed. I mean, if you're going to say that on the agenda, it's between this time and this time, then you should at least write next to it if we're not running ahead of schedule. Like, you can't list a time and then not say, stick by it, people have busy lives, we got sports, we have everything else. So that's just, it's not right. I still have an issue that, well, I guess we can't talk about that because it wasn't on the agenda. No, actually, you guys did speak of the fields. The fields are still an issue. We still need to have adults, any adult up there in between study hall and when coaches come up, because it is still an issue. Today, even today, the amount of issues that Alexa faced between her bully and her, even the administration and the principal, okay? I am done. This is not right, the way she's being treated, especially by adults. The kid, okay, the kid's a kid, the kid's a bully, but the adults need to do better. It's completely uncalled for. The whole course selection thing, well, that's something I'll have to bring up individually because it doesn't really pertain, but it's something else that's uncalled for. Family U, I want to know why we have to choose between anti-bullying and supporting LGBTQ. They're at the same time on Family U. And to me, everybody should be able to go see both of those. So do you want to go support anti-bullying or do you want to support LGBTQ? Because you can't do both, apparently. I really do think that it also should be done during school hours. I appreciate the evening hours for parents, but I can guarantee you not a quarter of the school's going to show up. So for the parents and the kids that aren't going to come to Family U, I would like to see it done in school during hours. I already spoke of the agenda and the money. We don't need money to adjust the code of conduct. Thank you. I feel that we already have a code of conduct online. I don't know why we need to touch the budget to reinforce it or to fix it or to change parts of it. I don't understand. I would like that answered at some point. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
My name is Jen Hardy. I have 2 children in the district. I recently sent a letter to the board and Superintendent Laura regarding my child's experience with bullying in the middle school. I'm not here to talk about my child's specific experience, and I do appreciate listening to some of the programs that you are exploring or that you have brought into the district. I think, we have to have a proactive approach. However, during the last board meeting, Mr. Herzog, you had talked about the board's job and duty was to look at policy. So my question, maybe possible solution to this and what I would like to see moving forward is a real look at our current policy and making sure that those policies are done, at each grade level, each school level. I'm not so much in favor of a 0 tolerance or 3 strikes. However, I don't know of a bully who's ever left an assembly a changed man. I think it takes more than that. And I think that we have to do our due diligence to make sure that we are addressing these problems because as it stands, there are students who are at it 24 hours a day. You're not going to change that child by an assembly. I think we need to look at a lot of different things. You had mentioned looking at best practice. I think it's an amazing idea. I think best practice should be what schools have significantly been able to reduce bullying and looking at those schools and seeing what programs they have implemented and using that as a platform. I know that here in the middle school, I see when I bring my kids to school in the morning, there's someone outside greeting the kids on their way in. However, in the afternoon, on the way out, there's no adult down here by where parents pick up. That has been an issue with my own children and certain students. So I think that's one particular thing that could be implemented, just more eyes, more eyes, more adults, more.
30 seconds.
Yep, thank you. Again, I'm bringing that is my suggestion if we need to put it in writing to be on the agenda, but a real look at our disciplinary practice. And, the student is physical. We have currently, I think they get a warning. We've had students in the middle school who have been physical all year long and are still here. And that's a real problem. we're not addressing that. And I want the kids to feel safe in school, as they ought to and have a right to. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Carrie Minnerly. I have a student that is currently in 7th grade. I would just like to thank the board for allowing us more time to speak. It is definitely appreciated. We came because, I came because my child is currently being bullied and has been throughout the school year, and it's been very difficult for him. So my biggest concern is that bullying is going on in front of adults, in front of educators, or in front of people that are there in the lunchroom, that are there to moderate and to stand guard, if you will. And it's really not being addressed then if they see something, say something, but they're not, which I think is a big issue, because it's very hard at 13 and 14 years old for other students to say something, to kind of get involved, to stop something. It really is, at this age group especially, very important for an adult to be the one to step in to say, this is not appropriate, we need to stop, or at least address it to a higher level. My child has gone to the principal and to the counselor, who he's very familiar with. We have a wonderful relationship, and Mr. Cabello has been fantastic, as well as our counselor. However, we don't get any type of repercussion. We don't get any conversation. I don't get a phone call that says, Mrs. Minnerly, Owen came to us today. There was a bully situation, or Owen came to us with, something that happened, let's discuss this, or I just wanted you to be made aware. We only get it when Owen tells us, which he doesn't like to tell us, because he knows mom will go and bring it up at the school, and no kid who's a victim of a bully wants their mom to go to the school, which I totally get. But it would be helpful if adults in the situation were to report it back, were to bring it up to the counselor or the principal, who then can address it with me, so I can address it with my child. And I feel like if I'm not being addressed as the victim's parent, I don't know that the bully, his family, is being addressed, or her family is being addressed. Without communication and without any repercussions other than in school, nothing is really going to change the situation much. I finally kind of got to the point where Owen confided in me that he was being harassed, mostly because he is LGBTQ, and it's not as accepted as it should be, which I understand and he understands. But when the bully then tells him he should go and kill himself, is when, as a parent, you don't want to hear that. Owen has been having a very difficult year, and this has really been all because of a particular student who has been relentless throughout this school year. Not blaming the school, obviously it's not the school's fault, but I would like the school to be able to step up and say, this is what's going on, we hear it, and we're going to help you with it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
I want to talk about that I'm being treated unfairly, not only by students in the school, but also by the adults. I've been treated unfairly, and I've been asked questions that I find to be inappropriate. I'm wondering why I've been asked questions by an administrator, such as, well, you understand why you're being bullied, right? In no way do I find that appropriate, and in no way do I understand why I'm being bullied. I've had other students come up to me and tell me they don't feel comfortable talking to the adults in the school. We should feel safe and comfortable talking to these people. They're the ones who are supposed to keep us safe. We don't feel safe, and I don't feel safe.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Yep, we're all set.
All set?
Thank
All right.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Go to a motion to go back into executive session. Go to second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any against?
Aye.
All right, back to executive session. Let me, I'll just tell Mike to split.
Yeah.
Get out of here already.